All right, all right. Hopefully, you guys can see and hear me okay. Hopefully, the glare isn't too bad. I'm here in beautiful Hodsden, England, enjoying this gorgeous sit. I'm caring for 4 dogs, 4 large dogs, 3 labs, 1 Dalmatian, and 1 cat on this pet and house sitting gig. And they have definitely got me running, but it's been good. The English countryside has been really good for my soul, my spirit, and my body. Feeling healthier and stronger. So, very, very grateful. So, today I feel led to share a message with you guys that has been floating around in my head for like several days now. And I have just been putting off recording it and putting off recording it. And I don't know why, to be completely honest. I think I've just been lazy. Like I said, the dogs here have been keeping me going, so this one is a little bit more strenuous of a sit than normal. So I haven't had as much time to sit down and record, but that's also just an excuse that I'm making. So I'm going to share a little bit of my story with you guys today. Probably a lot of y'all are going to be shocked. It's a different part of my life story, but a very large part of my life story as well. And we're going to get into the discussion of how the universe will push you and give you wake-up calls, and they will get louder and louder until you listen. The universe, you cannot fight against it. Okay? If something is not meant for you anymore, you will be forced out of it one way or another. And for me, this happened in my health issues. So about 8 years ago, 9 years ago almost. Yeah, because I was 22 when I got into dancing. I started stripping because I had moved my life to Kansas for a guy. Ended up not working out. He ended up being abusive. And so I got my own place, was working at Twin Peaks at the time, and everything was on the up and up. And then I got fired from my job for some bullshit, which I won't go into. But it led me to need fast cash. So I started dancing, stripping in Kansas City. Stayed out there about a year and a half, ended up moving back to Texas, had a long string of really toxic relationships over the next 7-ish years, about 5 years, 5-6 years. So all that being said, I had been trying to get out of dancing for years. And last year, the universe said, enough is enough. You are getting out this year, and we are going to force you to get out because of these health issues that you're having. So my body started changing. I was having swelling in my abdomen. Come to find out, my liver is messed up from all of the hard living that I did in my 20s. So it forced me to get out of dancing, which was a blessing in disguise because I kept trying, but it's so lucrative. It's such a lucrative job because 1, you work for yourself. 2, I mean, there's no cap on what you can make. Yeah, you have really shitty nights. Like there's more like it's not as glamorous as a lot of like movies and stuff make it seem, where it's just money raining down on you all the time. That doesn't happen all the time. It does happen sometimes, and it's great when that does. But average night, you make a couple $100, which is still fantastic. And I was doing massages too. So I was making a lot of my money, like customers weren't even touching me. I was just giving them neck and shoulder massages, which was fucking amazing, especially near the end when I was like, starting to get really repulsed. Because that was my body and my spirit telling me, hey, it's time for you to shift out of this environment, right? So when my body started changing and I was no longer sexy, not that anyone else was saying that, but it was to me, like I was struggling with bad body dysmorphia and just really, really disconnected from my body and the way I felt. I was tired all the time. I was extremely like fatigued because we didn't know what was going on yet. We didn't know that I had diabetes that needed insulin to correct. So my blood sugar was just insanely high, which makes you very, very tired. I had a weird taste in my mouth. I was getting really bad leg cramps. I developed a hernia from the abdominal distension because my liver wasn't functioning properly. So I was having fluid buildup in my abdomen. Started having to get taps, which is essentially where they stick a needle in your abdomen and drain the fluid out. And they got about 20 pounds of fluid out multiple times. I think I had 4 or 5 total done before I haven't needed them anymore. And then in January, I ended up being hospitalized for a week because I was having really bad kidney stones one that lasted like 3 weeks and it just wasn't passing. And the emergency room gave me something that contradicted with my liver. So I ended up vomiting up a lot of blood. I have portal hypertension because of my liver, and the varices in my esophagus ruptured. So that's why I was throwing up all the blood. And I had a real come to Jesus moment. Really was just back with my higher self, like a real wake up call. Like, hey, like, all right, something's got to give. We need to fix this. So I started looking into how I can help myself heal better, and really deep dived into my spiritual practices again, which had kind of fallen along the wayside. I started meditating every day. I started journaling. I started practicing deep gratitude. And all of that led me to realize that it was time for me to leave the United States. And I was planning on moving in November. Had a country picked out. Albania was where I was planning on moving to. And just as things got closer, I felt the urge to leave sooner, and Spirit was telling me, no, in August, you need to go to Egypt in August for the Lionsgate portal. There's healing there available for you. There's past life regression codes. There's ley lines that you're supposed to work with, people that you're supposed to meet. So I had all of these things, and I was still very heavily into my spiritual practices at this time, being very consistent. And driving for Uber Eats instead, using my partner's car instead of dancing. So I was completely out of the dance scene at this point, which was a really, really big step, because that, like I said, I had been trying for years to shift out of that, but kept getting pulled back in. But with my health issues and my body looking the way it does, and me discovering like, yeah, that's not a soul alignment for me anymore. I was very grateful for everything that happened. I looked at my whole situation differently than probably a lot of people would. I wouldn't change anything in my life. The good times, the bad times, they've all shaped me into who I am today. And for that, I'm forever grateful. So I guess my message with this today is be open to shifting before you're ready. Because if you don't, like if you know something is not a soul alignment for you anymore and you continue in it, the universe will give you the loudest wake up calls until you can no longer ignore it, until you are forced to shift, right? And the universe has your back 100% if you just take that leap of faith. So since I have left the United States, I left the US with less than $1,000 in my pocket, less than $900 actually. And I knew that was not going to get me very far. Sure enough, within the first month, I'm like, yeah, I'm out of money. But I have been provided for every step of the way. Like the house sitting, pet sitting jobs, providing places to stay, the people that I have been house and pet sitting for have all been phenomenal, have let me overlap days. Like if I have a gap in between, so I don't have to like pay for a hotel or stuff, which I wouldn't be able to do anyway. So a lot of them have provided me food, or at least some food. And yeah, I'm just eternally grateful. The universe has been providing just like it said it would, just like Spirit told me, just take that leap of faith. And I was not ready. I was not ready to leave in August. I think a lot of people think that it was easy for me, and they don't know that the weeks leading up to me leaving, like already having purchased my one-way ticket to Egypt, and having no idea like what was to come. There were multiple times that I had like panic anxiety attacks, breakdowns, just bawling, crying, because I knew that I was leaving everything that I knew behind. And as exciting and adventurous of a person that I am, as excited as I was, it was also terrifying. So, another piece of encouragement, you know you're on the right path when something feels super scary. Okay, we don't grow from our comfort zone. And I knew that I had outgrown my place in America, that I wasn't going to be able to heal there. I wasn't going to be able to receive the full body healing that I wanted to. My health was getting worse with me being there. And I really needed to stop relying on other people. Like my partner, like him letting me use his car is absolutely phenomenal. But, you know, I'm putting miles on his car, and like, I cannot work a 9-to-5 job. It is just not in the cards for me. It's not the way my personality works. I would not be happy there. It wouldn't be a soul alignment for me. So I knew that I needed to shift out of that, and I needed to find my own way. And so in order for me to do that, I had to take the biggest leap of faith and just trust that the universe was going to provide for me on this journey. So yeah, if you're feeling a little bit of a crossroads lately between safe and comfortable, familiar and scary, unknown, expansive, choose a scary, unknown, and expansive path, because as terrifying as it is in the beginning, it will bring you such a release. It will cause you to grow in ways that you didn't know you were capable of. You will meet the most beautiful people along that path, and you will leave behind the parts of you that don't need to come with you into this next chapter. So that is what I have for you guys today. Take the leap of faith before you're ready. Spirit will provide and has your back 100%. Sending you all love. Till next time.